Well, hello again and welcome back to the Tamiya Australia YouTube channel. So it's coming up towards the end of June 2025. No news from Tamiya at the moment. Obviously coming towards the end of the month into the new month, we'll get the release list for the following month. So July we'll get for August. So in the next week or so I should have some info for you. Haven't heard any rumors, haven't done anything special. That Grasshopper Black was a bit of a left field curveball. I never knew about that one coming. So yeah, that was a bit of a surprise for everybody there. So I just want to make a video today, guys. I'm probably, in my opinion, one of the least loved chassis, on-road chassis from Tamiya. I have both the available kits on the TC01 chassis here. This is the Formula E Gen 2 car. This is 58681, and this was 4 years later before they released this one. This is the Mercedes-Benz CLK-GTR 1997 58731. So yeah, 4 years between drinks for these two cars. I built it. Actually, I'll tell you the story. Okay. I found that on special on eBay for about $300 delivered. So I thought, I can't miss out on getting one. I've always wanted to get one. And then 2 days after I ordered it and paid for it, I found this one on Facebook Marketplace local to me. So we're up in the Perth Hills. This was just up in Mundaring, so which is not too far of a drive. I ended up getting that for just over $100. And it had been run pretty softly up and down a driveway, I think, and then not used again. So I can get one and keep one in a box, which is what I like to do. So I've got that one for the shelf and to keep in the box. I'm collecting race cars at the moment, so I've got a bit of a hot streak on race cars. So that one's not going to get built because I've already built this one. I don't know why it wasn't as popular as it was. It's a really complex build, but it's a fun build. I really did enjoy building this one. I think the body set that came with it on its initial launch might have been a negative, maybe, in my opinion. It's super duper complex to do the body. I think people like more of a straightforward body like this one, but who knows? Look, like I said, I bought that, I stripped it all down. I put the setup, because this has got a slightly different setup now. So this is more of a touring car setup. Body posts and the bumpers are a bit different, and the back and the front are a bit different. The other one has more of a scoop on the front to match this body set. But I did, when we're in Thailand, if you watch my Thailand series, I bought some hop-up parts for this one. So I'll show you the hop-up parts I've got here. And yeah, we can just go through and I'll show you what I did with building this with some hop-up parts. Right, so probably the first most obvious thing you can see that I've done here is the GT tuned motor, which is hop-up option 779. Not that I'm going to run it, but I think that looks nicer than a standard steel can motor in the chassis. I did TC01 aluminium steering arms left and right, 54958, so they're just in there. So I did those. That also includes, or the extra bit was 54957, the TC01 aluminium steering bridge. 54986 TC01 carbon battery holders. So that's these battery holders here, the two hop-up parts. At the front of the car, I've got a stabilizer there, 54956. That's a TC01 stabilizer set. You can just see that in there. And 54960 TC01 aluminium damper extenders, which is these ones here. So these are usually plastic, but I think they look better with the anodized blue, matches the sort of motor mount here. I think it's sort of, and the steering is all kind of yeah, I think it looks a bit funkier with those things on. I don't think they have, well, any purpose really. I think I actually upgraded in here as well. I can't find the card for them, but yeah, so that was the upgrades that I did on the chassis when I rebuilt the chassis. So that's the chassis that I rebuilt. You can see the hop-up parts I put on it. So I guess the purpose of today's video is I'm going to do an unboxing of this one, of the Mercedes. There's nothing inside there except the body set, which is sort of painted in some funky colors. But yeah, I'll do an unboxing of this video and show you guys what you actually get in the TC01 Mercedes-Benz CLK-GTR 1997. Okay, let's have a little look inside here. So beautiful Tamiya artwork on the front. Honestly, I'm a fan of the drawn artwork, but it's a great photo of the car. Looks pretty cool there with sort of running, bit of blurring, which looks fantastic. Nice big clear font, 1997 Tamiya Mercedes-Benz CLK-GTR on the TC01 chassis. And then some information down here, ready to assemble, assembly kit, rear suspension, uprights with oil dampers, long arms, identical upright and arm components, so same front and rear. And there's a bit of a diagram on the side explaining a little bit about the car. battery pack not included. You can see there, middle mount motor, small drive shaft for the front to the rear. And you can use different differential oil setups. Here explains it to you, the different types of oil setups you can use. And long suspension arms identical across the model for more effective pit work. Use spacers and alter camber and skid and angles. That sort of explains that a bit to you. And then you've got a QR code down here. That explains the option parts that you can buy for the car, which is cool. That's the side of the box. Other side of the box, it's going to tell you what you're going to need. Separately required items, radio control unit, power source, and a motor. Like I said, I use the GT tuned. I think that looks pretty cool in that chassis. So let's, well, nothing on the other end. Let's have a little look inside. Okay. I do love the old chassis with the blister pack. I'm not getting the blister pack in this one. Yeah, I think the last one I had with the blister pack might have been a racing buggy champ. That was yeah, that was pretty cool. All right, so first bit I'm going to pull out some spoilers, wing mirrors, and some emblems. That's those there. So obviously you're going to paint these to the colour you're painting the car. Obviously with a TS paint, not a PS paint, because the PS is for polycarbonate, TS is for plastic. I do paint plastics with PS. I've never had a problem, but you know, that's just me. So that's that one there. Now, we've got the front and rear bumpers, both sets. So this is for the Gen 2 car, and this one here is for the Mercedes-Benz. So you use one and not the other, so there'll be some spares left over when you do the kit. Here, we'll look inside this one. Actually, you know what? We'll put that aside for a second. Let's see what else we got. Some suspension arms there. Like I said, matching suspension arms front and rear, so it makes maintenance pretty easy. And that is the top of, so in here is the diff, front and rear diffs, and this is the cover that goes over the top of them. This is where your suspension arms mount. That's those. Another set of suspension arms. So obviously said same front and rear. That goes there. Set of tyre sponges, which are always good. There's that beautiful Mercedes body. So you're gonna have to cut this out yourself. Obviously, my biggest issues around these wheel arches here to get that nice radius. On the flats here, I have a little piece of wood I use with a metal ruler and a scalpel, and I can sort of get that nice and straight, but these are always a bit of a challenge. I do have a set of curved Tamiya scissors that I use for them, and does okay. Probably not as good as I'd like, but does okay. A little bit of sandpaper just clean up at the end always helps. That is cover for the motor and steering. This is some steering components, the bridges. This is with the bits that I hopped up on my built kit, so you can change these from plastic to anodized aluminium. And yeah, brightens up the chassis, makes the chassis a little bit nicer looking and a little bit stronger. Then we've got a set of 4 wheels. It's like a hock mesh design, BBS sort of looking wheel. I think they look pretty nice. Especially the silver wheels against the silver paint of the body for the factory body would look pretty good. 4 racing slick tyres. You can see it's a square setup, so same width front and rear all the way along. I think they look pretty cool, nice and soft. Here we've got all the body mount posts. These are the A parts, and then yeah, these are the battery pieces I upgraded with the carbon on the hop-up parts. Those pieces there, and then yeah, you can see the uprights to support the body mount posts and stuff like that. And yeah, these are sort of links that hold the front and rear together, so keep the rear wheels from steering. Obviously, because it's the same front and rear, the rear wheels don't have a servo. By the way, servo, you're going to need a narrow servo, not a full height servo. So I'll just quickly put a picture on the screen of the servo you're going to need to build the kit, because I used a full height servo and it didn't work. So I have to show you the one you need. So I'll put that on the screen now. Cool, you got that. Make sure you get one of those servos when you start to build it. Nearly last, we've got the chassis there. I don't know why, but it says here no recyclable. I don't know why that's not recyclable. I guess maybe carbon composite or something. But yeah, definitely not full plastic. That's the chassis and antenna post. Nice flexible antenna post. Now we're down into the bottom where we're going to have a little look at, well, this is body preparation. Front wheels, rear wheels. So there are different designs, front and rear. There's an offset difference in the wheel, but not a width difference in the wheel. So you can see that there. Yeah, it says there that front wheel's got a less of an offset, rear wheel's got a wider offset. Which I didn't notice when I had a look in them, but I guess I didn't look inside them, but yeah. And then the holes to make for the body mounts, and where to drill the holes, where to cut, and yeah, where to put the decals, how to paint, stuff like that. So there's one black piece right at the front there. You have to tape off and paint, unless you're good with a paint pen. Otherwise, yeah, tape it off. It says explained it to tape it off and paint it. And then you have some black pieces under here with the TS17. That's what they're saying, painted with the TS paint. Yeah, you can see how the body looks on the chassis just here. Some more Tamiya info. Oh, come on, open up. In very, very many languages. This information concerning the kit includes knives, and be careful, electrical circuitry and certain bits and pieces like that. So yeah, that's just general information, I guess. This is obviously an amendment about those wheels. So it's explaining about the sponges, and then obviously those wheel widths, just to bring more attention to that, and the importance of using the urethane bushings. And blue and red give identical performance. So yeah, there's obviously wanted to make you very, very aware of that one. Look at that last. There's the full decal set, so there's a lot of decals in there. You have to do them in numbered order. I learned that many, many years ago, doing them not in numbered order. But yeah, they're 1 to whatever that is, 60 or 70 decals. But make sure you do them in numbered order. But yeah, the Vorsteiner Mobile 1 decals. So yeah, proper, just like the race car had, which is cool. And then yeah, window masks on the back. You just trim these out with your knife and then stick them in the windows. And then the generic build manual. So obviously this chassis is going to be used again and again with more bodies, so they just did this generic build manual, and it tells you how to build it, and it gives you the build for the Gen 2 car, and it tells you at the end how to change it over for a touring car. So this is what I was saying about the Gen 2 rear diffuser and the Gen 2 front bumper. But when you get to the back of the manual, it does explain to you how to change it. So TS050 hybrid mount, so you can use a TS050 body. I've got a TS050 on the shelf somewhere. I think that's an F103, pretty sure F103 RS, I think. Yeah, just set up and stuff like that, and just set up the chassis properly. So yeah, again, amazing Tamiya manuals, very well drawn, very well explained. These are actual sizes, so 1-to-1 sizes. So if you're measuring a screw or anything like that, you can put the screw up against this and it'll be absolutely perfect. They do it well. They definitely do it well. Well, hang on. I forgot this bag. Yeah, it'd be nice if I did the job properly, right? Come on. Not having a good day. Urethane front bumper. So yeah, that's obviously for the touring car, not for the Gen 2 car. What else we got here? We got some shockies there, the 4-piece shock absorbers. They're all sort of the same size, so that's good. Little screw bag just for body mounts and stuff like that. You've got your clips, O-rings, your little screws, washers and bits and pieces in there. That is, oh, looks like a diff parts. Yeah, they look diff parts. There should be 2 of them in this bag. Servo saver. Some more shock absorber parts. Tops and the bottoms and the mounts and the stays and stuff like that. That's all in there. Double-sided tape, some greases, a few tools, cable ties, a little bit of heat shielding there, and a few more little screws. If you build a Tamiya kit, you're going to get one of those every time, and then you're going to end up with about 50 of them. Because it's bloody addictive, this is. There's the other diff, so the front or rear diff. The other one, you got 2 diffs, exactly the same. So when you go through the manual, it'll say make 2. The 2 diff gears. And the drive gears that come off the diff. So you'll start with parts bag A, which is that one there. So everything's labelled in the manual A to D, and you just work through. I put them in little dishes, and I take them all apart and cut all the bags out so I can just keep going forward and forward. But yeah, A to D in this one. And it's got servo saver in there, some shafts for the suspension, screws, all that sort of stuff, washers. And that's bag A. Bag B. At this point you're going to be starting to build up the centre. There's your motor plate, drive pinion and drive gear, little shaft there, a few more washers and screws and bits and pieces. So that's bag B. Bag C, you're getting onto suspension. So you've got some damper oil, there's the silicone damper oil there, bearings there, some cupped drive shafts, all that sort of stuff. Lucky last, bag D. So you're doing your suspension finally. So there's the springs, suspension seals in there, some bearings in there you can see. Yeah, very easy and very straightforward. I wish I hadn't forgotten this the first time round. Well, thank you for watching the unboxing video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and got a little bit of info out you may not have had before. But yeah, cool kit, great build. Yeah, I think it's a fun build. Complex, which is what I like when I'm building chassis. Yeah, and I think that doing that body set would be challenged, but I think it would be very rewarding at the end. So thanks again for watching the video, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye. So if you like this video, there's plenty more on our channel that you're going to love. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up. Check out some of the other videos that we've made. I'm sure you'll like them.